All right, Alexia, new season of the Real Housewives of Miami. The world is going to get to live through what you already lived through. How are you feeling about having to relive it?
I'm very emotional about it, and I'm nervous and anxious, because a lot of my story happened last year, and to have to rewatch that and relive like that pain, it's not so fun.
Alexia Nepola, I love you.
Oh my God.
I got home, Todd's gone. He's gone.
I don't even want to be happy anymore.
Group hug.
Smiling, huggers.
The good thing is that I'm in a much better place, today, and that's the beauty of it. So you guys will see, like every relationship, there's ebbs and flows, and you'll go with my journey. You'll go through my journey with me.
What is the lesson learned coming out of this chapter of life?
My goodness, I've learned so much. I feel like I continue to learn every day. I've learned so much more about myself, and I just think I'm like stronger and just better, a better person, a better mom, a better wife. And yes, there's been a lot of regrowth. I feel like with decline, there has to be regrowth after, and in my case, there's been a lot.
Okay, you just said a better wife. As far as the courts are concerned, you and Todd are divorced, but there have been pictures of you two looking coupled up. Set the record straight. What is the status of you and Todd right now? And no watch and see. Tell me what's
I
up.
was going to say, you'll have to watch and see. That's like the typical line to say, but we'll have to watch and see. So, we're together. It's not a secret. Yeah, we love each other, and we are, working on it and just, trying to love each other better. And we've learned a lot from this whole journey, I want to say, yeah.
So will you get remarried, or is it one day at a time right now?
Next season, I'm just kidding. A housewife loves to get married on the show. Maybe that's why we were doomed, because, they do say that about the housewives, that all of us end up getting divorced. I want to disagree with that, but that's like a whole different conversation. But yeah, well, you never know. All we know is that we love each other, and we are very happy with each other. We're at a good place, and we want to be together.
Okay,
yeah, and the hard thing is like now everybody's going to have an opinion.
How are you dealing with that? Because we do hear Marisol saying, I don't want them back together. We hear Adriana say, they were not meant to be.
Okay. Adriana? Well, nobody cares what Adriana has to say. She wants all of us to be alone and miserable like her. But that's never going to happen. So, you know what? I know how to turn off like the sound and turn off the people and just focus on me. And I'm the only one that really knows, what I want and what makes me happy. And I feel like if your friends are really your friends and they love you, they should support you and be happy for you if you're happy. And they know I'm happy.
All right, so we will see the journey back to happy and how you got there and how you were able to forgive and all that this season.
Forgiving is a big word. I know on the show we do that a lot. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. But, for me, it's always been so much more than that. And, you have to learn how to forgive and just not forget, because I feel like it's always going to be there. But you learn from what you went through, And, unfortunately, it was, the show was airing and the show was filming. So, I had to do that publicly, and that makes it so much worse.
There are a lot of conspiracy theories about maybe what went wrong. Do you want to clear anything up ahead of time? Or just want people to see?
He doesn't like the show, so we all know that. But yeah, you'll have to watch and see. It was just like a lot. It was a lot, and the fact that we have to, share this. Not that we have to, but because I choose to be on a reality show, and it became my story. I was very open about it, and I was very raw. But like I said, you'll see the highs and lows, and the good and the bad. Like every relationship out there, by the way, just because the other girls on the show are married doesn't mean they have the perfect marriage. So you know what? Why don't they start talking about their marriage and their relationships? Because apparently they love to talk about mine.
Who do you think should be more honest in this group?
I feel like all the girls. Well, I feel like Stephanie's new. I haven't filmed a lot with her, but I want to see what her story's like.
We see the two of you get into it in that trailer.
Who do you think you are?
Stephanie Shojaee.
Big I'm Alexia Nepola.
Oh, I'm Alexia.
What was it like to go up against a newbie?
I'm used to it, right? Because I'm like the OG. So like they all come for me. They want to take my crown, but they don't realize that I've been here for a long time. And I'm very genuine. I'm very raw. and I want to see them do what I do. It's just the way I am. So I don't know how to be any other way. And she comes for me for no reason, but you have to watch. It's just because of that, right? But, you know, I feel like all the girls, you know, need to be more authentic, you know, and when it comes to their personal lives and their relationships, because, you know, I'm not going to be doing this like every season, right? I feel like, you know, if you signed up, fair is fair for everyone.
I think it's very cool to see you confide in Teresa too in that premiere and get her advice and her buy-in to all this, because you know they call you the Cuban Teresa.
I know. I think that's funny. So I mean, the fact that you know she knows us, you know, and we've gone on trips together, and we like all care and love for each other. So everybody was very concerned, you know, when it did happen. And you know, I'll always remember that, because I did have the love and support from all the girls, you know, on the show, and from obviously my good friends. And I'll always be grateful for that. But at this point, I'm better. You know what I mean? And I've moved on. And you see, that's what's so difficult when you share these things, you know, in the public eye, because it's like, how do you come back from this, right? But again, you know, love wins. You know, love wins. And, you know, all the ladies can have like their own opinion. But you know what? Marisol's, you know, with her guy, and Adriana will be alone forever because nobody wants to be with her. So they, you know, so they need to like just like sit down, right? And just let me live my life.